What's going on, guys? Dante562, and I wanted to talk about the U.S. Olympic boxing team this year and the failure for the men's team to even win one gold medal, or I'm sorry, even win a medal. Period. It's the first time in history it's ever happened. It seems the team has gotten worse and worse every 4 years, and I wanted to talk about the reasons we've been so unsuccessful when it comes to winning medals in the Olympics. And I also want to congratulate Shields for being the first American boxing gold medalist female fighter. I have to say, I was a little bit of a male chauvinist when I was watching the female boxers. When it first came on, I was like, I don't know. I'll watch it. I love boxing, but I was being a little chauvinistic. But when I was watching Shields fight, I was actually glued to the TV. She had me looking at the TV like I was watching Mike Tyson versus Muhammad Ali. She has power, she has speed. She's got that Mike Tyson everything has bad intentions on it instinct when she fights. So I was really impressed when I was watching her. We got to keep it real. She did have a good draw, in the Olympics. She fought against two fighters who came straight towards her. But nevertheless, I was really impressed. Shields looked really good, and she's probably the new big name when it comes to female boxing. Hopefully we bring female boxing back and it gets as big as it was when Layla Ali and Christy Martin were fighting. Okay, so let me get back to this men's Olympic team. A lot of people keep wondering, why does the American team have such a hard time in the amateurs? And there's a couple reasons why this happens all the time. One of the reasons they have such a hard time is because, see, in almost every other country, amateur boxing, believe it or not, is actually bigger than professional boxing is to us Americans. You know what I mean? A lot is riding on winning a medal, winning a gold medal in particular when it comes to all these other countries. You feel me? So, that has something to do with it. You take the Cubans, for example. The Cubans, they can't go pro unless they defect to America or Germany or whatever, any other country outside of their own. They can't turn pro legally, and even though they don't really get a lot for winning that gold medal, that's as high as they can go, is winning a gold medal, right? So because of that, they put everything into winning that gold medal because that's all they can look forward to. A lot of countries are like this, a lot of countries are like this. Even Great Britain, which they do have a lot of, fighters that turn pro and do pretty well. But see, even in the UK, winning a gold medal, is more, it's looked at more impressive almost than it is today over here. Look at when David Reed, won a gold medal. No one really even noticed. Same thing with Andre Ward. The last person to win a gold medal and really benefited from it, was Oscar De La Hoya. But recently, people winning gold medals, people are not even paying attention to the people winning medals. But like I said, you win a gold medal in the UK, you are the biggest thing, you the best thing smoking in the country. You feel me? You are huge if you win a medal in another country. That's why, like I said, Amir Khan, he didn't get the gold medal, but Amir Khan was a huge star just for being a silver medalist. Lennox Lewis, Audley Harrison from the UK, they were, they had huge expectations when they left the Olympics. You know, so that has something to do with it. Another thing that has something to do with it, of course, is because these other countries, they're chasing their dream so desperately that a lot of them they stay, they stay at the amateur rankings so that they can continue to, fight for a gold medal, every other 4 years. They don't even care. They rather win a gold medal than even go pro. A lot of these fighters, they fight all the way to they're like 34 before they, even leave the amateur rankings because they're just chasing, that dream. And basically, when they do this, of course, they go into the Olympics and they have more of an understanding. The majority of them. Another reason why Americans struggle so much is because Americans, they have too much of a pro style of boxing. Their style is way too professional when you compare it to the amateur style. you know, and like I said, I'm always around gyms. You got kids at a young age. They're being trained to fight more of a pro style than a pity pat, point system style that the Olympics, supports, right? I mean, just think about it real quick. You go back, before '92. The American teams the American boxing men's team was almost always dominant before '92. You know what I'm saying? Why is that? Well, I'll tell you why. Because before, they didn't fight with headgear. They didn't fight with headgear in Olympic boxing before. That made it more of a professional style of boxing, right? They didn't fight with headgear. And to elaborate that point, look at the clips. If you guys have been following my videos, you look at my Rashid Warren clips when he's fighting in the World Series boxing tournament, which I told you guys, if you don't know about it, that's basically a tournament of amateurs that fight in a pro style, but they maintain their Olympic status, to fight in the Olympics. Now, like I said, you guys already know Rashid Warren, he was eliminated in this Olympic tournament in his first fight again. But when Rashid fought in this tournament, Rashid, he dominated the competition, and he was fighting against former medalists. Just like he lost to I believe a former medalist today in the Olympics, or someone who got real close to medaling, something like that. Warren was beating these same Olympic guys easy. What was the difference? The difference was the pro style. You see what I'm saying? It was the pro style. Rashid Warren was dominating these same fighters with no headgear on. You put the headgear on, and it's a totally different sport. It's not boxing. It's a highly profiled match of tag, basically. You know what I'm saying? The first round, you tag a person, you get a couple points ahead, and then once you find out you have the lead, then you just run around and you try to keep that lead. This is not how all the matches go, but the majority of them, they go this way, right? So it's not boxing, but nevertheless, it's the pro style that Americans have. This is the reason why they have a hard time adjusting. Like I said, you look at Sugar Ray Leonard's boxing team. I believe it was '76, completely dominant. It was the pro style. You look at former medalists like George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. All of these dudes medal easy because they wasn't fighting with headgear. It was more of a pro style. Even in the '80s, and see, this is where I think things started to change. Well, actually, after '88, when Roy Jones, got robbed for his gold medal. But in '84, when Pernell Whitaker, Holyfield, and all the other cats, when they won gold medals, I believe it was still in its infancy stages when it comes to the transition of headgear versus, or maybe I should say headgear versus not wearing headgear. You know what I mean? See, the thing was, it was still early on where, the European teams, the Cuban teams, all these teams that were having a hard time fighting the pro style, they started to come up with a perfect strategic way of fighting with headgear on. And unfortunately, Americans, they were so used to fighting the pro style, they could not adjust, and to this day, they can't adjust, you know. So, one good thing about this situation, though, with so many American fighters struggling to just medal, is I could tell you this: it does make the stakes higher for someone good enough to medal eventually, like the last person who just medaled, Andre Ward. It tells you right now that it basically suggests that if you could win a gold medal, as hard as it is for an American to do, you have to be really special. And Andre Ward, he showed that. Andre Ward, he showed how special he is as a pro. From his amateur pedigree. A lot of people they can't transition over the way Andre Ward did. You know, but he did it. Oscar De La Hoya. He's another one that he showed how special he was. Me personally, I think when it comes to Oscar De La Hoya, him in particular, his best his best days, he'll be known for his gold medal. I think that's his best accomplishment in his whole boxing career is his gold medal. Me personally, you know. But nevertheless, that's the reason why. American fighters, they just have too much of a pro style. If you look at the cats that lost close matches like Joseph Diaz, he looked really good. Joseph Diaz would have beat that. He lost to a Cuban, but you could just look at that fight and you could tell Joseph Diaz would have beat the Cuban easy if it was a pro style fight. Same thing with Goucher. Same thing with Rasheed Warren. They would have beat these guys easy if it wasn't for the amateur style of boxing, the Olympic amateur style of boxing. You know, just like pros, just like Americans have a hard time adjusting to that pity pat style. A lot of non-American fighters, well, a lot of people in general, they have a hard time adjusting to the pro style. You know, so like I said, Terrell Goucher, he got flat out robbed. I thought, you know, Joseph Diaz, I thought that fight was close enough to where it could have went either way. Teddy Atlas and Bob Papa, they felt that he got robbed, and that's a fair assessment. Errol Spence, he got robbed twice. The first time he got robbed when he fought the Indian guy, then they overturned that one. Then in his last fight that eliminated him, he was completely robbed. Pretty much everyone else, they pretty much lost. They pretty much lost hands down. You know, so I'm gonna be honest. I didn't expect too many people to medal. I didn't expect too many people to medal because I remember watching a month or two ago, right after I seen Rasheed Warren dominating everybody in this World Series of Boxing tournament, he turned around and he ended up losing to some Russian cat in the nationals or some international tournament, you know, and that told me right there, okay, Rasheed Warren, he's probably still not going to win a gold medal, but like I said before, it's not going to really matter because I know that he has a style that's more suitable to the pros, you know. And a lot of these cats are going to be exciting to watch when it comes to the pros, and that's just the way it is. We need to find a way to adjust to that different sport that exists in the Olympics. And if you were to ask me what we need to do to help the team out, honestly, I think they need to hire Teddy Atlas as a full-time trainer for the team. I think that Teddy Atlas is the most knowledgeable boxing trainer there is today. Every single line that comes out of his mouth when he's calling fights, it makes absolute sense. He can tell you exactly why someone is losing a round, what they need to do to knock him out, etc., etc., etc. Very knowledgeable trainer. That's who needs to be training the next team. You know. So these are my thoughts on this situation. And that's pretty much all I gotta say, guys. I'm on to the next one.